This week on Reality Check, Congress came back to Washington and somehow managed to spend the entire week accomplishing almost nothing. The biggest thing lawmakers actually did was pass a 10-day extension of the government's surveillance powers under Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Now, Section 702 is the law that allows intelligence agencies to collect communications involving foreign targets overseas. But the fight in Congress wasn't really about that. It was about whether the FBI should need a warrant before searching that data for information involving Americans. Some Republicans and civil liberties advocates wanted stronger privacy protections. National security hawks wanted a clean extension with no changes. House leaders spent days arguing, voting, arguing some more, and then finally landed on the most classic Washington solution imaginable. Do nothing now and push the deadline back 10 days. In other words, Congress passed a law saying, "We'll deal with this later." The dysfunction was especially obvious inside the Republican Party. Speaker Mike Johnson couldn't get his own caucus to agree. Conservatives wanted more limits on government surveillance. Other Republicans said any delay would put national security at risk. So after several failed votes and a lot of late-night drama, Congress basically hit the snooze button. And that wasn't the only thing they failed to finish. Congress still has not resolved the partial shutdown involving the Department of Homeland Security. Funding for border operations, immigration enforcement, and other DHS programs is still hanging in limbo. For no reason. Remember, the so-called Big Beautiful Bill gave DHS $170 billion in additional funding for immigration and border-related enforcement activities. So, to recap, Congress returned to Washington, spent the week fighting with itself, failed to solve the Homeland Security shutdown, and passed a 10-day extension so they can argue about surveillance all over again this week. If you're keeping score at home, that's one temporary extension, 0 major problem solved, and a whole lot of people in Washington congratulating themselves for postponing the problem. That's your reality check. I'm Sarah. Happy 420 Day. Inhaling might make Congress a little more amusing. Briefly.